What do we mean when we talk about magic? We throw this term around a lot without really defining it first, and it's not a trivial question. And this isn't an indictment of anyone, but not one of today's speakers, myself included, have defined what they mean when they say magic. So let's take a shot at it. Imriel's dictionary defines magic as noun, the practice of altering reality through the application of extraplanar energies, which is fundamentally a phenomenological definition. It tells us what magic does, but not meaningfully what it is. Now, the epistemics did have a definition of magic. They had a theory of magic. They manipulated it expertly, studied it, taught it, and most importantly, used it to create new life. We talk about that like it was natural. It was a foundational part of our history, and it seems natural to us, but that was big. Magic's inherently selfish. It was the practice of reshaping reality according to one person's desires. It was personal and inherently egomaniacal, and it made a mockery of any idea of objective reality. So you draw on other planes to alter reality. We're beings of the planes, after all. You alter reality in such a way that the alteration, the magic or the spell itself, no longer is just a means to an end, but rather the end itself. The spell then becomes a mind. We take this all for granted. But the epistemics couldn't imagine it until it happened. And for people who define themselves metaphysically as the arbiters of reality, that moment was an event horizon. You find yourself back in Augury. It's evening. You're in the inn.
We just had a very uncomfortable beer with a wasp person.
Mm-hmm.
That was unpleasant.
Oh, yeah. Time for bed.
Is that the signal? Is that the hand signal?
Oh, yeah.
It means goodbye.
No.
I think that was the signal.
That's the signal that we all need to leave.
Well, you all leveled up and nobody bothered to take language proficiency, hella hand signals. So
man.
4 more levels, maybe you can take another shot at it.
Okay. Our plan is to go see, what's her name? Valentina? Is that our plan tomorrow?
Sure.
Yeah?
Back to the Augury.
I don't think there's anything I want to do in the inn.
Yeah.
I'm going to just peace out shortly after Hella.
Speaking to that wasp person definitely made me lose my appetite or any interest in socializing.
There's not much left here for us tonight.
Are they like... Hey, they're still in the inn, aren't they? The wasp people?
He left.
Oh, he left?
Mm-hmm. It was just him, not any of his attendants. Or
Okay.
Septimus, I think his name was.
Mm-hmm.
Septimus, yes.
All right, yeah. Just going to chill.
Okay. You gonna stay up late? Or?
No, I'm going to go to bed.
Okay.
Yeah, we were just on the road for like 4 days,
Mm-hmm.
or longer than that. So, yeah, how's this bed feel after the roads?
I'm tempted. It's soft, and how you react to that is up to you. Whether you're like, this is an alien experience, or whether you're like, wham, asleep.
I may have stolen one of the other mattresses from, like, Sword's bed or something if we're sharing a room and, like, plumped mine up more.
Mm.
I can see Sword being notices that, but just shrugs and is like, another hard bed, whatever.
Mm.
I fall asleep anyways.
Okay. That night, you dream of someone in your room. You awake and there is a figure in your room.
Just Sword?
Hmm?
Just Sword or all of us?
All of us. You're in like a shared room.
Yeah, okay.
Do I recognize this figure?
No. It is a tall woman wearing kind of like antiquated dress.
I tend to trust my instincts a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And my instincts would either be high or sword and shield.
Right.
What am I getting when it, like, is this immediately a threat and it's that, or it's just like, oh, okay.
Because there's no pretense anymore about what your character classes are. Paladins no longer have detect evil. What they have is the ability to detect undead and outsiders.
The divine sense, celestial, fiend, undead, is it consecrated or is it desecrated?
You do not get a sense of menace
Okay.
or danger from this presence.
Okay.
I hide under the bed.
Good evening. This is unexpected.
Are we in the dream together?
Yes.
Oh, we're all in the same place?
Yeah.
I mean,
Hold up.
you, how would I explain dream logic? Because this is, you are aware that this is a dream.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is not you waking up to this presence in your room. This obeys the dream logic where it's like, you know that that is Hela, even though it might not look like Hela.
Ooh.
Right? It's the thing where your brain is just like, we need this person, we need a person here, so we're going to cast your mother in the role of your boss.
Yeah.
Right?
Do any of us look really different, or do we look the same?
It's intensely personal.
Okay.
But when Surge is talking, is he talking in my dream?
Yes.
Okay.
You hear whatever he says,
Okay.
but
Okay.
So we have
whatever dream-like reality that you feel your character would create here is what you experience. So I'm not going to tell you what that is.
Yeah.
You know, that's for you to decide.
So I lead with good evening.
And when she speaks clearly and precisely and like right into you. Says, what is your intention here?
Excuse me?
We've come to ask the Augury their opinion on something.
Perception?
Yes, go for it. What are you looking for?
Is this the auger? Is this
Yes.
an extension of the auger?
Roll. You can roll for it. Sorry, I don't need to take that.
Yeah, no worries. That's not very good. It's a 3. 5.
You can't actually say definitively whether it is or not.
Okay. Well, we're not smoking craters.
Ask.
How do you think the augur would feel if it was no longer forced to be combined?
I do not need to think on this. I will tell you. I have a responsibility to this place and this role. I will not abandon it.
That's half of you. What would the other half say?
I don't think it is half. I think this augur is the augur, and they do have a responsibility to this place.
You think of us as two separate beings combined into one. We are now a synthetic being, a hybrid, created of two. There is no discord. There is nothing to split apart.
A little aggressive.
There is no... To come apart would be to destroy what we are.
Yeah, but I mean, why did you hide that one section of the city? Like, why was that kept secret? There's like more going on here. Look. I am tired of not knowing what is going on. Okay? Tired. Sick of it. I'm gonna start flipping out pretty quick here if I don't get a straight answer from somebody.
You came here as a thief, hoping to mask your memories. I see through this and recognize that that what you have hoped to conceal is in fact intended to entice. I see who you truly are. It is not lost.
Okay, good start. What if you told us who we are?
You are agents of the vault.
Okay.
You have been sent here to break us apart. And I do not require this. I do not consent to this practice. There is nothing broken to be healed.
Huh.
Who benefits from you being broken apart?
No one. Maybe your masters think that they benefit from righting some wrong that they perceive was being done. But I will not permit this harm to come to the people who live under my care.
So if you knew that we were coming to break you apart or put you in that vault, why are we not smoking craters right now?
Curiosity, boredom, interest, the moment of recognition of noticing something that is like yourself, taking an interest in you at long last.
So are you saying we're like you? Or that we were sent by others like you?
You were sent by others like me.
I thought so.
You could not be like me in any meaningful way.
All of my experience to this point is
So,
definitely how
yeah, but what do we do now? So now, what do we do? Just leave? Like, we can't just, now what?
Hold up. I'm not going to accept that this is the Augur unless we're in the place where the Augur is. We don't know that this is actually the Augur.
Or that you have the authority to speak for both.
Check me.
I will tolerate your presence in my community for one more day. After that, you are to return to your home and report your failure to your masters.
Could you put an appointment on the books for us?
She doesn't, like, her expression betrays no irritation. But you detect it nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
I recognize I know why you were selected for this.
Okay. I don't really think that's relevant.
Why? Why were we selected for this?
Bullheadedness. The ability of your meat brains to persist in a task long after it's apparent, after it's been disregarded.
Disregarded? We've only been at this a few days, week at most.
It's been like a week. Literally since we came around. It's only been a couple nights. Like, it's been less than a week.
You feel that you are only several days old at this point, which is true in a matter of speaking. In many other respects, you are as old as the civilization whose memories that you were educated in. You did not have to reinvent mathematics or the wheel. You were benefactors of that. You are not only a few days old.
I would like to go back to sleep now. I'll be ready to speak with you at the appointed time when I show up tomorrow. Good day.
Is Hella just like in a corner trying to escape the dream?
Back into the blankets.
Yeah. The dream blankets.
Baiting my dream space nighttime.
She
Oh.
vanishes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. And does this dream end? I wake up, I guess. I'm assuming I would wake up. I'm looking. Is anybody else up?
No,
Is
but,
anybody
like,
else
Hella's
up?
like splayed out, like all arms,
Hey!
like just real
Hey!
awkward.
Yeah,
What's up, Peter?
What?
What do you mean, what's up?
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. We all had the same dream.
Yes.
And?
I believe our path is correct.
To what? Break that up? I
Well-
mean, it already knows. We can just talk out loud about it.
Yeah. But it is worth mentioning we should check with the other augur.
Yeah, but how do we check with the other augur?
Hella made us an appointment.
I guess. Checkmate again.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm-
Yeah, we're going at this point.
Okay, well, we're supposed to stop the augur. We don't know why. Well, we're supposed to break it up. But then what do we do? How do we break it up?
And why do we break it up?
I feel as though we were given this for a reason. And anyone else who lost their memories would question why they would keep going. But we were selected because we would find the faith to keep going even without knowing why. So sometimes you just have to have faith.
I'm just mad. This isn't real.
I get the feeling we were just chosen simply because we won't stop even if we've got reason to.
Well, I'm about ready to stop. You know what? I don't want to be turned into a crater.
And do what else?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Peace out. Go away.
Maybe after this we'll
Find
remember.
somewhere to live.
What if this is the step to get our memory back?
But we don't even know what to do. What do we do? Just knock on the door like, hey, here to split you up.
It seems to be an option. And if Hell has made the appointment for us, then it's...
I mean, worst case scenario, it goes wrong. We go to the doctor, we find the magic code to unravel our memories, and we reevaluate.
No. Worst case scenario is it goes wrong and we're all craters.
We could have been made craters at any time. The Augur's given us a chance to...
The fact that we're not craters does prove that the augur has an ego. Correct.
Yes.
would- consider the fact that we're able to interact with the Augur in any way shows that it has an
The
ego.
fact that it hasn't killed us right now proves that it has an ego, which means...
Or, sorry, finish your thought.
I don't know, Peter doesn't know where he's going
Okay.
with this.
Or that the other one doesn't want us dead, and they hold each other in check.
It's interesting you bring up an ego like that.
Yeah.
That,
That's some supervillain stuff right there. Show up in our dreams,
yes.
monologue,
And B.
essentially said, hey, you got a day to leave? Shoo shoo. And we're supposed to be like, okay, I guess so.
But it's got a point.
You know what? I'm sick of being bullied. I'm going to bed. Tomorrow we're waking up. We're going to that appointment. We're going to split that augur up. We're going to figure out what's going on.
Let's put one before the other, but otherwise I agree with you.
Peter goes to bed. Pissed off.
You doing all right, Bowles, Nana?
I'll be fine. This is giving me a lot to think on.
I realized I made a mistake last session
Ah.
that
Oh.
did not show up in the YouTube video, but was discussed afterwards. The book that you were given by George, I gave you the wrong title for it. I worked this out beforehand and failed to write it down.
Okay.
But I was like, this was the name drop for the campaign. It's called The Book of the Flood. So that's for you, YouTube.
Oh, there you go, YouTube.
Yeah, instead of just book of random number algorithm.
Yep. So Peter goes back to bed.
Yeah.
Hella did not wake up.
Tried not to. It was like, oh, if they keep chattering, I might have to like find a crawl space.
I'll shrug and go to bed as well.
Just going to silently think until I drift off as well.
Okay.
Any other visitors?
No.
Ah,
Morning arrives.
Yep.
It's already getting hot by early morning. Spring is getting over or progressing, and summer is starting, and it's hot in this part of the world. Birds sing. Sunlight is coming through the window.
I take my wood.
The smell of food.
yeah. I imagine I get up fairly early, and I'm already having breakfast at this point.
Okay.
And if they're not there at some point, I will secure food and bring it back.
Okay. The inn is mostly empty, but there is a dwarven man who is apparently staying here.
I'm like sitting down with porridge, probably looking at him but not saying much. Just like,
He seems fairly self-absorbed.
I guess I come down the stairs, get food, get some coffee.
He stumbles to his feet when he sees you.
Hello,
Cousin. Hello.
there, cousin. How are you this morning?
Oh, well, I'm well. And you?
I'm also well, thank you.
He like gathers himself for a moment and comes over to you, and he's like, hello, my name is Amber.
Hella.
It's good to meet you. I have not seen another one of the kin for a long time.
I have no memory of my last meeting.
Oh. Would you care to join me? Are you traveling alone? Do you have companions?
I'm with 3 others. This rugged type is with me.
good morning.
Hello.
Hi. Just like look down.
Hello, give me a... Can I see your character sheet, please? Would this be will or history?
I imagine a half-orc even looks threatening by sipping gruel between the tusks.
Give me a whiz throw.
That's a 2.
2.
Don't throw a whiz.
All right.
Guess we know what my dub stat is.
Well, don't need that file. Yeah, Amber is a bit younger than you. His hair is kind of like just a loose mop. He doesn't have a beard.
No beard. That's weird.
Yeah. Well, sit. Want to have a seat with us?
I'd love to. What brings you to Augury?
A meeting
Oh.
with the augur, as is what brings most people here. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm well, a bit of an amateur archaeologist, actually. I spend time out in the wilds collecting things, and then I bring them here and I sell them.
Such as?
Oh, trinkets, magical wares, old coins.
Do you have anything on you right now?
Oh, yes. Well, I mean, not on me. I have.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Uh,
Not if it's inconvenient.
no,
please,
no.
just-
I can go and get it. And he like runs off.
I guess Peter comes down at this point because I hadn't come down yet.
We'll be together. I
Yeah.
think.
When he said cousin, did he mean family, or is that sort of like a dwarf thing?
We have never met.
Are you sure?
No.
What's going on?
There's another dwarf here.
His name is
Have we
Amber.
seen another dwarf?
His name is
I don't think
Amber,
so.
and he collects old things and then sells them.
Okay.
Interesting.
How does that help us right now?
Sometimes a little companionship in the morning to start the day off right.
We have to eat breakfast.
But he may have something we could use.
Got anything to split up an auger?
We have so few friends in this world.
Oh, we don't know that. We don't remember anything. We could have lots of friends.
He comes back downstairs,
Yeah.
basically, and he's carrying like a chest, basically, like a small one, and he like puts it on the table. And he's like, I found some amazing things. I was doing some digging off far to the east of here, and it's very exciting. And he opens the chest, and he pulls out something roughly the size of a human fist.
Oh.
It looks like a pepper mill with a grinder at the top. Only it has wheels set into it and like numbers.
What is the purpose of this?
It's for making calculations. You can set you can set various sliders on it, and it will do all manner of differentials and differences and sums.
Are you sure you want to give it up? It seems so valuable.
Well, I mean, no, but I would like to eat. Yes, you in the purple with the scar.
Don't we have a book of calculations?
Yes, we have a book of calculations. Who has the book?
I believe I do. Yeah. Here.
How much for your tool?
Well, I wonder what would happen if you run a few calculations of the ones in this book through it just to see as a demonstration.
Oh, yeah. I imagine I could. And he takes the book, and he's like, it's been a while since I've had to do any kind of work like this. He seems kind of immature to you. But yeah, he thumbs through it quickly. He finds opens the first page, and he's like, this is this is delightful, actually. And he flips through a series of switches and selectors on the device, and then turns it. And he studies it for a moment and says, "Oh, okay," and he continues to turn it, and it just keeps cycling through an apparently random, whatever output is at the bottom. The window that shows whatever the output is supposed to be just keeps cycling.
Is that what it's supposed to do?
Well, if it's meant to generate random noise, then that seems logical. I imagine that if you did this for long enough, you would see every sentence possible cycle through here.
Every sentence?
Everyone in High Republican, every Dwarven sentence, every Elvish sentence.
Every combination of everything.
This could be cycling through a language we have never seen before as we speak.
Oh.
Fascinating. Get that book back then.
Thank you for the demonstration.
Oh, you're very welcome. Are there others?
I would not know.
But you have your mother's name. I've not gotten my mother's name yet.
I don't have memories of my mother.
I see. Well then, good fortune in your travels.
You as well. Thank you.
I will see you again.
If fate allows it.
Jesus. It's dark.
He looks at you like, that's a fucking weird thing to say.
That's what Peter just said out loud. Peter's like, that's a fucking weird thing to say. You want to scare him?
Well, I should be going off to meet my buyer.
All right.
No, I'll leave it.
Yes.
It's too probing for
No.
someone I've
Good
just
luck,
met.
and I hope we do see you again.
He walks out the door.
Well, yep, that was another. Put that notch in our social Bandolier, jeez.
Oh, it's someone we can call upon. Should
Yeah, I'm sure he's gonna really want to hang out with us again after that.
Should we
So
meet him
nice
again?
to meet you people.
Oh yeah, it's great, right?
Yeah.
God, we're gonna end up craters. Oh,
I don't know about that. If that device says what Amber was saying, if the book does what Amber is saying it does, this is a very valuable book.
okay.
How so?
Well, it's got information.
It is
It is
information.
Yeah, it's like everything. That's wild.
What if we hired a wizard to turn it into a cube?
We don't know if the wizard or any living spell that consumed the cube would survive.
Well, we've had one point on that, and all we know is that George, is that it interfered somehow with George. But maybe he's not. When I was talking with George earlier, he was mentioning that the augur has surpassed him.
In terms of level?
And George was limited to a fairly small physical space. Maybe something bigger can handle it.
It's an interesting lead. Well, with breakfast, we should pick our path. The doctor, oh, what time was our meeting?
Whenever we show up.
Ah, VIP.
That was the intent. I feel that the information we have is very important to the augur. But we
Yeah,
need
but we know that the augur doesn't want to see us.
Half of the augur doesn't want to see us.
Well, half.
we need the connection that formed with our minds at the gate in order to give the augur the information that we have.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to go see the augur.
Okay. We've also been told that we have a day to get out of here.
Well, last time we visited the augur, it was what, 30 seconds?
5.
Yeah. I don't think this is an all-day affair.
We should be done fairly shortly.
Plenty of time.
One
to
way
get
or
in.
another.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. What's the plan?
To the augur?
Head off to
See
the augur.
Valentina.
Well, to the Valentina,
Yeah.
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 Gotta find out if we do have an appointment.
All right. Well, you go after breakfast. You leave the inn, and waiting for you outside are a pair of guards.
In the dressed as the augur people or dressed as the weird wasp people?
The augur
Ah,
guards. I mean let's say they have like a blue armband.
okay.
So
Basically.
they're waiting for us, I assume, in a questioning pose and not in a shields drawn and ready for arrest pose?
Yeah. They're kind of like doing whatever the equivalent of being on your phone is.
Okay.
Okay.
You're
morning.
like, you must be the people Valentina asked us to collect.
Maybe.
Collect,
Yeah.
collect has implications to it.
Yeah.
Sounds like our appointment is now.
Yeah.
I don't know. We were just supposed to come and get you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
So what's your deal? They say, as we're like, you need to stop anywhere.
No. We don't.
We're here to see the augur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? What's your deal?
I just do what I'm told.
Must be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a dream come true, really. It's what I aspired to be all my entire life. Can't even begin to tell you how fulfilling it is. So, what makes you special?
Good question. We've got some books.
Fascinating. Well, serves me right for expecting something interesting to happen here. All right. And yeah, they escort you to Valentina's tower.
Just offhand,
Mhm.
when was the last time something interesting happened here?
Define interesting, really. There's fights, there's birthdays, there's holidays. I mean, interesting, though. Those things are like cyclical, they repeat. Right? I would go so far as to say nothing interesting has ever happened to me, ever, here.
Is
You?
that because the augur running the city? Like, because a guard is, I mean, if you have a being that can pretty much dole out justice immediately in anywhere in the city, doesn't that make you just kind of redundant?
I hope not. I mean, it's how I make my living.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can still make a living, but what point do you serve, really?
That's kind of a rude question.
Well, I mean, I'm just wondering. It's got to be tough. I'm trying to level with you here. Like, it's got to be tough. You probably don't have a lot that you have to deal with ever. It's got to be boring.
I mean, it's nice.
Is it though? You just complain about how nothing ever happens.
Don't let the fact that I complain about my job confuse you with wanting it to be different. It's an important distinction.
That's a very good point. All right.
I talk with a lot of other people who come through here, some of whom are very heavily armed, and trust me, I don't want any kind of that trouble. That sounds hard. But yeah, I don't know. I suppose ultimately I am grateful that the augur makes my job somewhat redundant. Thank you for pointing this out. Don't mention it to my supervisor, maybe.
Sometimes it's envious to have an easy life.
Yeah.
Well, I hope nothing too interesting happens to you today.
Well, thank you. I mean, I wouldn't call my life easy. Easy. God. I have to go and do laundry,
Yeah.
pick up things, run errands.
I'm just gonna let him
Easy
run his
life.
course. Yeah. Yeah.
Adventurers. When was the last time you had to get groceries?
Oof. When was the last time Peter had to get groceries? He's saying this out loud. Oh boy. Well, just some people aren't meant for the mundane, my friend.
There's always that little voice in the back of your head that asks you if you're done shopping and if you've got everything you need before you move on.
Yeah.
Well, next time you find several years' worth of my salary on a goblin, let me know.
Yeah, for sure.
What's
You're
your name?
needed.
Yeah.
This person's name is
Yeah.
Connor.
Yeah.
Connor.
Sounds like a Connor.
Does
Connor.
sound like a Connor. You know Connor. Can I call you Connor?
I mean, it is my name.
All right. There's nothing stopping you from just taking up the adventurer lifestyle.
Really?
I mean, you make it sound so easy.
Do you think I could cut it?
Nah, don't see why not. If I can cut it,
Well, yeah, I suppose so. I mean,
let's be honest with ourselves.
You cut down your parties to a guard of one.
Yeah. Get out, enjoy
Yeah,
some
some
fresh,
fresh air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See? Yeah. All right.
you know, you do overhear things in my line of work.
Yeah.
I'm sure
We found a nest down the road.
Of what kind of nest?
Peter goes,
You would have to find out yourself.
It was large. Whatever it was.
Large as in bigger than medium.
Bigger than a horse.
The nest was large.
Yeah, maybe it's not for me after all.
yeah.
I just hope in a week we're not going down the side of the road and we find his body in a ditch.
We will.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. 100%.
Yeah.
Bold of you to assume that you'll be doing anything in a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. We might not be doing anything.
All right. So you're at the tower.
Yeah.
The other guard has not said a word this entire time.
Okay.
That's
Looks
smart.
vaguely embarrassed by the entire conversation.
Yeah.
Just opens the door.
Yeah, I'll walk through.
All right. Valentina meets you. It's like, well, this is a surprise.
Uh-huh.
You can imagine my astonishment. Is anyone going to tell me what's going on here? Why are you so important all of a sudden? Don't everyone answer all at once. I suppose I don't... Who needs to tell me anything, after all?
Where did the information that we were coming come from?
It was written in the book.
Oh,
Yes? Anything you want to share with the rest of us? Us poor working stiffs.
I dreamed an appointment.
Well, I suppose not all of us can be so lucky. You just... I mean, no, yeah, I'm fundamentally glad my dreams don't come true. So, you just get to walk in, is that it?
Well, I mean, walk-ins.
Walking in is easy.
Yeah.
She's talking like this as she's taking you up the stairs.
Yeah, walking
Okay.
out is the hard part.
Yeah. We
Well-
might not leave.
What would happen to the city if the Augur left?
Well, that's what we call a leading question in my experience. What would happen if the Augur left? Well,
What would happen to all these people?
what attracts people to this town is the presence of the Augur. You came here for it. And while they're here, they spend money in the inn, they buy horses, or they trade for things, or they just spend time here. Some people never leave. Like my now apparent colleagues from the Golden City who have just decided to set up shop.
Yeah, what's their deal? Weird. We got approached by, what was the name? Probiscus? Problemus?
Septimus.
Septimus. Close enough.
What
That
did he
dude,
want,
We
if you
don't
don't mind
know.
me asking?
There was some, it was weird as hell.
You let us know that you'd been talking to a doctor about our condition.
So, he was taking an interest in you as well.
Apparently.
Everybody seems to be.
Well, that's... You must feel flattered.
Perception.
Yeah, go for it.
I guess insight? Wouldn't that be
Yeah.
insight?
Yeah, insight. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have good wisdom, but no, it's an 8.
Okay. You do not gain any insight into
No.
her reaction to that.
You said as well, so you're interested in us?
Well, now I am. Not everyone just has an appointment written into the book for them from on high. That's unusual, you understand. I mean, I imagine for you, you just get whatever you want, but for me, I had to rearrange some things.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome.
Sorry for the inconvenience.
Thanks.
I climb these stairs too many times every day.
Do appointments appear in the books often?
No,
Ever?
infrequently.
All right.
So, Hella, are you like at the back?
Yeah.
Can I
I'm
like
just, like,
drop?
moseying
can I like
along,
drop? I'm gonna
eavesdropping.
drop back and be like, "Did you write in the book?"
It wasn't me. It was not me.
You are the absolute worst liar I've ever seen.
You were with me all night. How would I have done this? I don't even know if I can read.
Wait, for real?
Yeah.
You don't think you can read?
I haven't really tried.
Oh. Yep. Conversation over. Jeez. All right.
You arrive at the top floor.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah. How we get in the book?
I won't try and step through this time.
Yeah. I didn't think about what we do when we actually got here.
Well, we are going to ask the Augur their opinion.
Okay.
We've only talked to one of them.
Oh,
Is Valentina still here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, you've spoken with... I suppose
Valentina,
that's implicit in the fact that you just showed up with an appointment. But
so you're welcome to stay.
in my own office, that's very generous of you. Is there anything else that you would like to gift me with?
There is a good chance that you will overhear things in this conversation that you won't like to hear. You're welcome to stay.
She sits at a desk, opens the top drawer.
Yeah.
You do realize the Augur doesn't use a mouth and only talks to people inside their heads. She might not have any choice in the matter.
Why
At
the
least-
fuck not?
at least we
Yes,
warned her.
I guess. Sure. Why not?
Man, we're just messing everybody up today, aren't we?
She
like
pulled
a
out a
whirlwind.
flask, basically.
Oh, I
Yeah.
can tell.
Yeah. All right. Okay, I guess we're going in. This should be fun. It's essentially
Yeah, the-
yeah. It's like all
Hold
right.
on. I can't remember if I asked this, Valentina. You said talk to the Augur directly. Have you never talked directly to the Augur outside of your office?
This is my workplace. Of course, I've spoken with them.
Did they ever show themselves to you?
How do you mean?
Cards on the table. Last time we spoke with the Augur, they appeared to us in a dream. And they were a she.
She said some things.
Are you aware that there are 2 augurs?
Well,
How do you know that?
George told us.
Well, that's as close to a non-answer as I could possibly expect to get then, isn't that? Yes, I knew that.
Ah,
Few people do. So what?
which one do you communicate with?
It doesn't work like that. It's not two beings coexisting. It's one. They're now one hybrid organism.
this is what I thought.
When they talk to you, what do they look like?
Manifestation of light. They don't really bother putting any effort into appearing in a way that makes me comfortable.
Then why was it different for us? Obviously not talking to her.
I can hear you when you do that, you know.
You do realize we talk with mouths and not directly into people's heads.
Yeah.
Oh, what did they look like?
Long.
Tall,
Long.
narrow,
They looked long.
slender,
Female.
flowy.
That's unusually personal. Strange. What?
Was it all the same for us? I say out of character in the room.
I mean,
I believe it was a shared experience.
yeah. I mean,
Well-
I mean, they looked.
What
they,
did they say?
Woo! What did they say? Well,
They spoke of the vault.
yep.
The vault.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with that?
No, what vault?
I-
What is it? What is
I'm not sure. They said something about us being from a vault.
it's a fun homonym.
I mean, we could sit here and we could shatter her world image, or we could just
Sorry,
go,
little. I can't hear you.
or we could just go into the other.
I think at this
Peter!
point, we can talk
Peter,
to
what
the
are you
Augur.
whispering over there?
The adults are talking.
How do we open the door? Is it open already?
No, it's like an iris
Is
store.
there
that-
is like a mechanism? Can I just crank that?
No, it's Valentina has the device. I forget how I described it last time, but it is now and has always been a magical device. That
I
she
need
can-
an escape from our current conversation.
I think we're ready to see the auger.
We're in the
Well, that's
book.
very gracious of you.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. I guess you are ready to see the auger now. It. No, you know what? I don't care. Okay. I don't care. It doesn't affect me.
It
I'm
might.
not real. She holds up the amulet. Her amulet, or her casting device. And the iris door opens. And through it you can see the auger and the celestial plane.
We meet again.
Speak. What are your intentions?
So, the idol, we found from George Hofstadter what causes the idol. The idol is expanding from the south. The augury is probably under threat. We think the vault is already cracked. But at the same time, the Empire might try to take the anchor point of the auger and move it somewhere out of danger, potentially. And we don't have a way to stop the idol from overtaking all of society. But the auger that can build might be powerful enough. So George didn't have any context beyond when he became the library that he is. We could probably find some nice books for you if you like. But you've been collecting information for known time and probably have a very good idea of where things are heading. So we want advice.
Sword just looks at Hella. Yeah.
He just starts clapping. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah.
Yeah, Sword is actually just like,
I understood maybe 10% of that.
yeah.
Good ears.
Yeah.
It's a good feeling. All right.
Did you remember more than you let on? Not now. Not now.
From before, no.
She's just smarter than all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Way smarter.
Okay. For a moment, nothing happens. Sorry, I just realized I probably threw a lot of like proper nouns at you over the course of this thing. That was me as a GM. When I was first made, and this time the voice comes to you not as like the declarative, powerful, echoing one, but something less dominating. My function was to predict outcomes from the past, to see in great clarity what had come before, and from that extrapolate what may come next. The idol defies that. The idol is a process that heals in a way that you cannot directly understand. It doesn't operate on the scales that make sense to you, so you always came to fear it. But what cracked open the vault that you made may not have the effect on the things within it that you would predict. What it may have done is heal the things inside it. And so what you're proposing, I think, is what?
there may be a way to use the vast power of creation to stabilize some territory or something to protect the people that are alive and untouched by the idol as it is. I don't have any hope for any people that were near the vault.
You say healing. And healing, when you say healing, do you mean to make once again whole? What do you mean by healing?
The idol doesn't restore, but it does push towards a new equilibrium. Something that is capable of moving forward from something that was experiencing a discontinuity. And for you, that could be quite bad because you're very delicate.
It doesn't take into account what's living inside it.
I have a question. Did we open the vault?
I cannot anticipate that. The idol is chaotic, fundamentally. My facility is for iterative process. I require a certain amount of order to be able to make sense of things. The idol defies that, so I cannot answer that question. I cannot conceive of a way to answer that question. It's tantalizing. What do you want?
I don't even know.
Yeah, honestly, our memory's back. But in lieu of that,
Yeah. I just want to know what the hell's going on.
yeah.
We followed like the most vaguest of breadcrumb trails, and this is where we've ended up.
If we took you to the wild, what would happen? Would your two parts become whole?
I don't know.
Do you want to find out?
Yes.
How would we do that?
I would need to be split apart.
Who do you serve right now?
I have no master. I serve myself. I serve these people.
And beyond that, well,
I serve my imperative.
Last night, we were approached, presumably by you, and you told us the opposite, that you didn't want to be split, and that you wanted us gone.
These things aren't incompatible. What happened when we were apart was dangerous.
Yeah. How do we split you? I have a lot of faith in my sword, but I can't imagine cutting this in half. What was the process that combined you? Could we reverse it?
You do not...
you're asking
The process of splitting apart is... It's always easier to destroy than create. The thing that wove us together can simply be cut apart, but for certain values of simply. I think I see buried in your minds the people that you once were. It's there to me, clear as day, clear as a bell carried through still air. I can describe it, but I can't unlock it for you.
You don't know the password?
It's clever. It's changing. The password itself seems to be in a constant state of flux.
And what happens to us?
That is an interesting question. Maybe you could have asked George that. But my facility is not for minds, like his is.
Fiddlesticks. Well,
What would you do if you had the information necessary?
Make an informed decision.
And let others act?
I can't predict it. It's an event horizon beyond which I cannot peer. I do not know what will happen.
If we separate you, how do we move you? Is it just as simple as carrying your anchor down to the vault?
Yes,
Oh,
in some respects we are intricate and delicate and precise, and in other respects we are a very large rock.
Was the anchor formed here or was it moved here?
It was moved here at tremendous cost and expense. Split apart, it is much smaller.
Wait a second, you met George?
I am aware of him.
Okay, that's enough.
are all the living spells aware of each other?
I am aware of their presence. I can feel them. But have we met? No.
so I just have to cut a rock. How hard
No,
can that be?
you cut apart a mind.
Oh,
There's a spell holding them together.
Yeah.
That's how living spells work.
he like looks at his hands, and just like,
I want to give him the book.
Yeah. I think we should. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of.
yeah. Do it.
Can you take information on a printed page?
Yes.
This was George's.
They take the book from your hand.
Yeah. Caution. George couldn't handle this book.
But I think you might be able to.
Knowledge is chaotic.
The pages, or the book opens and it goes and closes. And normally I would have music playing. This is me and my friends just jamming games.
Yeah.
What
You
kind of
hear-
music? Can you describe?
Yeah.
It is something Akira-y.
I've never seen Akira.
Oh, it's good. You should. I've seen it twice.
think
We
Blue
can
Man
hang out and
Group.
watch
Are we
it.
talking
Right.
like the super epic climax music? Or?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Anyway, you hear the Augur's voice, and it is
Which voice? The same one before or the other one?
Good cop or bad cop?
good cop.
Okay.
There is a profusion of voices actually overlaying one another, and it seems to make every sound that you can possibly imagine, every sentence that you can possibly imagine.
Is
And
it painful?
Yeah, I was going to say, is that much noise in our
It's-
head?
it's overwhelming. It's overstimulating. It's fundamentally overstimulating. And at some point, you hear the story of your life being recited in it. And the lock in your mind, which you're suddenly aware of being there, blasts apart. And your entire living memory from birth suddenly floods into into the matrix of the mind. And it feels like you live out your entire life in a matter of moments until you catch up to where you are.
It's a bit much.
Basically, yeah. I mean, literally, it is.
If you're
It's
not
a bit
falling,
much.
if you're not falling to your knees at this point,
Yeah. Peter dry heaves, probably.
Yeah.
He's like,
It is almost confessional.
Yep.
Yeah, Hell's just crying.
Yeah, sort of
Yeah.
standing there and crying.
Yeah. And you feel impelled forward through the Iris store.
All right, I take a
Take a
step.
step.
yeah.
Stepping into the astral is disorienting because motion here doesn't mean what motion on the material plane means. When you move in the astral plane, you're moving metaphysically, almost along a moral or ethical axis. When you rise here, that is the result of doing good.
It's not. It's you don't become more something. It's as a result of your change.
Yeah. So when you move here, you have to imagine yourself behaving in a different way.
it's like pushing a moral gyroscope one direction, having it turn 90 degrees the other.
Right. Yeah, more or less. So for these purposes, think of your Intwis Cha as your strength condex.
Yeah. Uh-oh. How you doing there, Hella?
Still strong.
I'm just picturing again as the tears come down, just like looking at these scarred hands and just being like,
So you examine your scarred hands, and your hands are scarred and calloused and contain within them the story of your life, because every fiber of your being contains within you the story of your life. The information that makes you up, that restores you after your skin dies and flakes off, and after your body reassembles itself every 7 years, there's still the core you, and that is unbroken, and that is there's an uncut thread that defines you even as your scars form and are broken down again, and you feel within that this is not the mark of a broken person. This is the mark of someone who has been reforged into something new. And the name sword, you realize, is not a name, it's a declaration of purpose. A sword cuts, a sword divides, a sword separates things apart. Anyone else?
Peter's just like, hell yeah, I knew I was cool.
Your magic is intensely personal. It is incapable of being taught. You remember being small and being taken before the magic users in your community, and them being frustrated and exasperated by you because what you represent is in fact the raw power of the idol itself, inflicting itself upon the human psyche. The magic of the epistemic republic was the magic of the imposition of will upon the world, whereas you are fundamentally almost inverse of that. You attune yourself to the powers of reality and can use that to pluck it like a string on an instrument.
Are sorcerers rare?
They're becoming less so.
Ah.
But you cannot be taught. You have to be instructed. You can't be taught how to use magic. They can only educate you as to what it means.
Okay. Cool.
I turn my inner eye to my past as well.
You have lived many lives. The elves of this world live very long lives, even half-elves, and you have chosen a new life many times. You have been a proficient swordsman, you've been a wizard, you've been a functionary, you've been a cook, you've been an explorer. And for now you find the rhythm of the world through the expression of music, through fellowship with other people, because what is music if not a social function? What is it if not the defining trait of sentience? How young are we when we decide to dance? Why do noises have movements associated with them? It's fundamental to our experience. And for whatever reason, in your latest life, that has resonated with you. And even that name, that word, that resonance, is unique to this life that you are living. Anyone else want to know what their character actually is? This is my fanfic, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just afraid. It's every loss or pain that I've ever had will come back. Can I see the others? Can I like perceive them in this
Yes.
space?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Do we see can we? Since we're in the astral plane,
Mm-hmm.
do we see what they are seeing? You know what I mean? Like when they look
Yes.
Our
inwards,
projections.
It's
yeah.
almost
Yeah.
like the
it's like a movie screen, kind of like.
it's like a vivisection of your mind.
Okay.
Everything is just laid out here. There are no secrets.
I-
It's impossible to keep secrets here.
If I can mix metaphors, it's like, yeah, we're all watching the same screen, except the screen is a hot tub that we are all sitting in.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. So I'm
Gross, but yes.
Gross.
The grossness is inherent.
I'm delighted that like everyone else is having this,
Hmm.
but I feel like I was having fun.
Hmm.
But I should know.
There is nothing can be forced here. Nothing can be compelled.
Yeah.
So,
Go for it.
Hmm?
Go for it.
Okay. Hella is the first word. It was the name of the first dwarf, and you know that because it was the first symbol inscribed. Possibly ever. Certainly ever. And your mothers gave you that name because everything else was lost. The thread was cut. The long thread of memory was broken with the fall of the epistemic republic. And it needed to be reloomed together. And that's a lot to put on a kid. But this is our life. Bad things happen to people. So when it was time to get your mother's name, you were given that word as a name. Ela, I am. The first statement, the first truth, the indivisible. And who knows what that means?
Yeah, that's very comforting. Like I was so afraid that it would be worse, but it's just I'm very myself.
And that's the part I'm most happy to retain.
I have a question. How did we meet?
You volunteered. The vault is a thriving city out in the idle. The vault is cracked open, burst apart, and everything that was in it is not whole again. It's something new. It's not healed, but it is whole. Because healing implies it went back to what it was and could retain its function. But what it is now is something synthetic of everything that was there before. Every discarded or broken or undesirable trait of the things that were locked away in the vault has now been synthesized into something whole and holy.
Not synthetic in the sense of artificial, but
But yes, something,
amalgam,
amalgamated, alloyed.
I think is a better word.
How urgent is their situation?
They have eternity.
Okay.
Well, the vault has eternity. The people living there, they have their lives. They have the great secret of the vault is that they have found a way to make a life in the idle, and not found a way. That's actually incorrect. They have
Made away.
There have always been people living in the idol. The orc tribes live in the idol. They made a way. They taught that way to the people who settled there. And that way is vital, it is sustainable, and it is hidden.
So what do we volunteer to do?
Investigate the idea that there was an imprisoned mind here, an imprisoned spell, something that could be helped, and something that was dangerous and behaving unpredictably and violently, harmfully.
That's false. Is it?
I don't
It hasn't been acting up.
I don't know that we know that yet.
I guess we don't, but
We were sent to investigate,
yeah.
and we found a mind that was for lack of a better term, bound to its purpose, which may not be. If any mind bound is not, in essence, in my mind, is not free.
Yeah.
Most important thing, you realize that your experience of the last week is not gone.
That's important.
It's a part of you.
Vital.
What happened to us before we woke up?
Ah, yeah. At the car.
That was an elaborate ruse. That was,
To fool the augur?
yes.
Okay.
They weren't sure how it would react.
Knowing they weren't sure how it would react knowing we were coming to investigate it,
Yes.
and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Does anyone
And we're
else-
just supposed to report back?
You could.
Imagine we have the authority to do what we feel at this point.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any other personal questions, or is it time to start talking or reaching out to the whatever's here now?
Oh, what's the thing? The conversions.
The convergence,
Yeah.
that is the vault.
Okay.
Whatever was broken there, the process of healing it combined, or the process through which the idol made it whole again is very powerful.
So
Conceptually, it's very powerful. It
okay,
gives-
so the vault was holding living spells. The vault's been broken open. By us, the settlers?
no.
Okay.
The idol disrupts highly structured things. It
Okay.
was never supposed to interact with this, right? They put it far away from it on
Oh, and
purpose.
the idol just grew so much.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's the idol unmakes structures, basically.
Yeah.
And it unmade this one, which was a very delicate and elaborate thing.
So why haven't the spells just like run out and started doing whatever they wanted to do?
They were compelled to stay by a world that was in danger, by a world that was torturing itself.
Huh.
Yeah, there's something like taking so much of a resource or like confining it in a certain way that reality can't.
Now that I have my memories back, do I have any idea why fucking creepy McSmile dude was all over us? Would I have a better idea?
They are the Golden City is nobody knows exactly how the Golden City formed, but the best guess is that someone got freaked out
Yeah.
when the world started coming apart and decided all bets were off, and they decided that the best way to ensure their own survival was to kill a large number of people simultaneously. And because of the way that D&D works, you get a bunch of XP. And you get a bunch of levels. So if you wipe out a large city, like say the Imperial capital or the Republic capital, well, that might be enough to make yourself very powerful. And they represent that place.
Okay. So from what I get, then that would mean that we are seen as a threat.
if we're known
to them.
about.
Yeah, if they're asking questions about us,
Yeah, but remember,
we are seen as a threat.
it was just a legend. Like when we were up at this part, the idea of the vault was just that this is a legendary place that it went to. And
Yeah, but I'm not talking about the vault. I'm just talking about them asking about us.
Oh.
If that's their line of thinking, is that, killing large amounts of people or people that are seen to be of strength, if that's the way they're advancing, then if they're asking questions about us,
You're
then
worried.
that means
They want to kill us and
Well-
take our power.
probably. I mean, I'm just throwing ideas out here on the whiteboard. Like,
I would think that they probably don't know anything about us yet. Or at
I
least-
would like to think that they probably, or not like to think, but I think maybe they know more about us than we did at the time. I mean,
may want to probe that in the future,
Yeah.
but I think we would definitely want to avoid giving up as much information as
I
possible.
think they collect information like the Augur does,
but not in a
and
good way.
now we're anomalous, and so they're investigating us because we're weird.
Okay. But I mean, like, what do we do now?
Well,
the
we're in the
problem.
astral plane. Let's go talk to the augur.
Well, I know that.
Oh,
But I mean, like, if we're all talking, because we're in a hot tub together,
Just chilling.
just chilling, and I'm assuming the augur can probably hear us anyway.
Yep.
Probably without much choice.
Yeah.
Probably
So it's like,
nearby in the hot tub.
our goal is to
They're just sitting there in the corner.
Like, in the corner.
it's like,
yeah.
no, just keep doing your thing.
Yeah, you do you. So we need to decide what we are going to do.
I don't think we can do anything about the Golden City ourselves.
Yeah, I wasn't even talking about them.
No.
I just mean, like, we were sent here to investigate the augur, correct? Which we know now.
Well, we don't, thankfully, or not thankfully, but we don't know everything yet.
It's true. But I mean, like, we might as well just start asking questions, I guess.
I think we should continue to investigate.
Yeah.
Augur.
I think we can be confident the Augur is not a threat that we need
They're
to...
not, yeah, I mean, we were sent here because
Yeah.
there was rumors, correct?
Mm-hmm.
On the idea that the living spell that was in this city was hostile. But no one knew for sure.
And unpredictable.
In the idol.
Yeah. Well, it was
Do people not, I'm assuming people just don't leave the idol ever.
rarely people come and go.
Yeah.
They can. They're free to do so. But like one of the first things I told you about the augur was that it tended to react violently to people who it perceived as a threat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Smoking holes. And we're not a smoking hole.
So we're not a threat.
Or it's
Or we
changed
can
somehow.
provide it with something.
Or
we have
it's
a purpose.
Or it's not hostile, or it's changed.
Okay.
There was
Yeah.
a cool thing that happened, and we all got our memories back. But I assume that we're not the only people that changed due to handing that book to the
Yeah, it's true. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah. How do you?
Who are we speaking with?
Yeah. Ooh.
While this has been going on, the augur has been experiencing something very similar.
Ah.
Not that it had a mental lock at all, but the same idea that this that when you tell every story,
It's had a new data set too.
yeah, and you see or feel or hear, you experience along with it its entire life, and
Uh-oh.
both halves of its lives, and the intense creativity and curiosity of the Earth Mover, the vital energy of that activity of tunneling and boring through and reshaping almost unthinkable volumes of material just to whatever you felt like. And the delicate work of trying to do so in a way that tended to these tiny, delicate organisms that must inhabit it. And it was trying to contain so many parameters at once, and it's difficult work because their needs are finicky. And boring. Boring, fundamentally. Like, it's a fascinating problem, but why no stairs? And the frustration there. Stairs are great, very pretty. And you also experience the augur, the historian, the the fortune teller who knew every history and knew every gruesome atrocity in the past of the people from the First Age on up to the fall of the Republic, and the ability to take all of that knowledge and say, okay, there's nothing forward but the future, and we all have to go there together. And no matter what has happened in the past, it is inalterable, and time is passing anyway, so you have to make the best future possible and imagine the best future possible. And her role is to imagine the better future. And suddenly being given the responsibility of minding the creative energies of this other mind, finding its better future. Well, it wants to reshape the world according to some very loose understanding of what people need. And then you can see, as this understanding unfolds, and this idea that these two minds are actually forced to articulate this idea, you can see quite clearly the spell that has woven them together.
This is the astral plane, and we can actually visualize it now.
Yeah, you can see that it is these two beings are held together in a fundamentally discordant way, but one that is, for the moment, was necessary. And now that understanding has taken place, that the danger seems to have passed, that the binding together was done in a moment of panic, and perhaps understandable panic.
Yeah. This is the astral plane. Mm-hmm. This is the world where our thoughts have more power than our physical bodies. Mm-hmm. Can I touch this combining? Do I get the sense in this space that this is something that I can interact with?
Yes. This is your name here.
Yeah.
Is meaningful.
Yeah.
You are a sword. You are the thing that cuts and separates. And all you need to do is what comes naturally.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to draw my sword. Imagine at this point, mm-hmm. as I draw it, it's just all light.
Where do you draw it from?
My back.
Okay.
Peter gets out of the hot tub.
It's in a scabbard. No, it's in a scabbard. It's in a scabbard on my back.
Okay.
And pull it out, and I'm picking it that swing, and it's just all light now, and it's really bright. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. It is whatever you imagine it to be.
Yeah, and I look at them, and I'm just this might hurt. And then as I go to strike it down, I just picture it getting inconceivably long.
Yeah.
Thanks, Adam.
That's what I was trying to avoid while I was
I was there too.
yeah.
Were you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was trying to avoid this, and then I'm
Sword whips out his sword.
I'm trying to
yeah,
picture
no, exactly,
Yeah,
right?
It looks like a Ferrari.
You feel the feeling of falling comes back to you, mm-hmm. but here it's different. You realize that your dreams of falling have never been about falling; they've been about moving forward, about being under the power of something that is beyond you, and something that is particularly above you, that moves you, and that's what moves you now. Roll to hit.
It'd be
I'm
really
gonna
awkward.
die if you miss this.
I realize I've inserted a possibility of failure.
11?
That hits.
Holy
It's hold on. One more try.
It's where's our bardic inspiration?
How fast can you think about failure?
Wow.
Whoa, Cameron, you can't do that to us.
Yeah, I know.
You can't say
But
that
could you
before they
imagine?
make the roll.
But what
Can you
happens?
imagine?
Its sword splats like a bug on a windshield.
What
Yeah.
happens when the end of the world is just a little late?
Yeah.
The spell binding them together parts
All right.
like a spider web. Delicate and strong, but still very, very, very small. And they split apart.
Do they reform into two entities, or
Yes,
or are
almost
they like
instant-
spider webs in the wind? You're like, oh no.
Yeah, they what was once like the two hemispheres being split apart, reform under their own mass again into like the luminous balls of light. Luminous balls of light, really?
Yes. Give me a picture with
purified-
your words, Cameron.
Those crystals are purified, crystallized sapphire. But yeah, it seems like the most natural thing in the world that they would.
And there's no like
Earth shaking.
pain or like the what I mean, like, you know what I mean? Do I get a sense of like
They scream?
like, yes, like not a scream, but just like a sense of just like frustration or anything? Is there any emotions that are coming? Or is it just it happens and it's like quiet?
There is a sense of loss, maybe a bit of grief, but amicable parting.
Okay. And when when they split apart, you said that they were moved here at great expense through the stone. But now, when they're split apart, is there like a? I guess we're still in the astral
We might
plane. so
find
we have
out.
to check.
We'll probably
We have to
find out when we get
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Might be worth asking. The physical object that bound you together. Do I also have to cut that?
No.
Ah, okay. That was going to be a lot harder.
Can you move yourself?
Which one are you addressing?
Ooh.
Both.
I can probably make some kind of wave, but I would prefer not to have to do that.
That would probably be bad for the
Yeah.
people around.
We'll figure out a way to transport you down to the wild.
So one of these is the actual Earth moving.
Yeah, the auger with an E. Auger,
Yes.
The drill.
The drill auger is the one that has an E. Yeah.
Yes.
And then the auger is the other one with the U.
Yes.
Okay. And that's the good cop? Auger with the U is the good cop?
You was the good cop.
E is the good cop?
E is
You was the one that
Threatened
threatened
us.
us.
They are different people now.
literally before they were like bound together, and that representation was both of them at once. That was their like the sense of duty, and they're like, well, I guess we're here together now, and that was for good reason, and we understand those reasons, and we're gonna make the best of it. And now they're apart
I
and
would-
separate and independent again.
Asking, what will you do now?
I would like to come with you, says the Earth Mover, and the fortune teller says, I will stay.
Ah.
Okay.
That seems right somehow for the people here.
How do we get out of here?
I have a question. Is anyone going to know what's changed? Sorry, I totally interrupted you. But are things going to change fundamentally for the city? Are people even going to know that this has happened?
Well,
What has happened in the material plane will be difficult to ignore.
Okay.
And you,
Yeah.
That said, functionally, as long as the fortune teller is still here to receive,
That's what I mean.
it should be functionally the same.
We'll find out when we get there.
I want to address the Earth Mover. What do you look like in the material plane so that we move the correct anchor?
a stone helix,
What does helix mean?
kind of like a drill bit.
Okay.
Whew. Me and Sword like looked at each other.
Yeah.
What the fuck is a helix? I'm like, I don't don't know. Fuck, I hope Hella knows. She's the smartest one of us, all of us.
And as for your question, it indicates
you.
behind
Thank
you
you,
that
please.
there's just the portal is still there.
I awkwardly excuse myself. I'm just gonna shuffle off.
Yeah.
All right.
Did our physical bodies enter here?
Yeah, and you physically entered the astral.
That's got to be not good.
I'm just picturing putting the sword back and like swimming back to the portal.
You can just kind of like, whum.
Oh.
Okay, do you leave the astral plane?
Yeah, we're peacing out.
Okay, you follow. I guess you have a silver thread, according to D&D.
That
Yeah.
would make sense.
Yeah, you follow your silver thread home. And it's chaos.
And why chaos? Like the earth is shaking, or there's like what? Describe chaos.
Because we were in like Valentina's office. Or
Yeah,
did we
there-
exit somewhere else?
No, you exit back into Valentina's office, and you hear the clatter of stone. Like, it's very loud. It sounds like an avalanche.
Yeah, that tracks.
And the tower is shaking.
It's attached to the Augur's floating stone thing. Of course, it would be shaking if something happened to it.
Am I worried that the building I'm in is going to collapse?
Difficult to ascertain right now.
We should get out of here.
Sword, quickly. Tell Valentina we need to move the drill bit.
Valentina, we need to move the drill bit.
What did you do?
Well, that's a lot. That's
We asked them a question and we went with their will.
We may have given them all the information.
She's like actually on. She seems to have fallen over at some point.
Cool.
So she's like, "What did you do? You did what?"
I'm
What
going to
do I
make the offer to like give her a hand up and then start carrying her to run out. But if she refuses, I won't like physically grab her. But I'm like, we should go.
Sword, tell her we need to move an anchor, and
Yeah,
we
need the helix.
If anything, like we need the Empire not to know.
First thing, we should get out of this building.
Okay.
May I?
She takes your hand.
Okay. I'm just
Fireman carry.
over the shoulder, and then just start like
What?
hoofing it. Like, let's go.
Oh, try not to take such large steps down the stairs.
And Sword, tell her we probably need like a cart. I don't know how big it is.
Yeah. We're going to take the auger home.
An auger.
An auger home.
we left you one though. You're welcome.
Oh, that's very generous of you.
Is the building
What?
collapsing?
It's Give me an intelligence save.
Intelligence
Save?
An intelligence roll, a general intelligence roll, because there's no architecture.
15.
The shaking and the exploding and the rattling seems to be subsiding.
I'll wait till we get outside just to be safe.
Okay. Valentina is not the only person who works here. There are many other people who are like, I guess we should run to, like, what's going on? And people are running out.
Yeah.
And somebody says, it exploded.
Well, didn't exactly explode.
I hope one of the pieces
Don't
is
know
small.
that yet.
It's more severed than exploded.
Yeah.
And that definitely seems to be a recurring theme among the people who are currently rushing out of the tower, is that it exploded.
Yeah.
They exploded it. It became exploded.
Excellent. When we get outside, I will put Valentina down and very briefly, this is what it wanted.
Getting the door open is actually a bit of work. There seems to be some rubble on the other side of the door. And there's just a lot of dust in the air as well. Like a lot of dust, as if a large amount of rock has suddenly become
Yeah.
moved.
If the shaking is stopping and we don't think we're going to die, maybe we can hang out in the building for half a second and come up with a plan.
I would leave.
We gotta get out of here.
Well, we don't know where it is yet. But yeah. Valentina,
Yes.
do you know where the anchor is?
If we sweep the site in a spiral pattern, we'll probably come across it.
Asking
Very
that
quickly.
question implies that something has happened to it. Yes, I know where the anchor is. It's directly outside my office.
Thank you.
Why would you ask that?
We're taking it home.
Okay.
Portion thereof.
Just a portion of it. We left you this. We left you the book. The book one.
What one of the Auguries wishes to remain in this city? Continue. It's the one that's actually been taking the information and making. What's the word?
I feel like
Projections based upon
I
it.
feel like we're giving her like the Blues Brothers that we're on a mission from God. It's like, sorry, lady.
She's got like glasses that hang from a chain around her neck, and
Yeah.
she takes them and looks at them, and they're cracked, and she's like, "Shit!" Right? Just like all of the frustration is just like, "No, I'm going to take it out on this." What are you talking about?
Please
we
open
go?
the door.
Yeah. I'm going to shield onto the shoulder and then just run into it. Into
Okay.
the door.
You are able to force it. Well, actually, give me an athletics roll.
19.
Okay.
Goodbye, door.
Yeah. You actually splinter the door.
That's what I was hoping. I mean, yeah. Massive half orc runs down full charge with a shield. Door gone.
Yeah, there are a couple of other workers here, guards, who were trying to I don't know, door's fucked. Who are like, well, it won't open. What do we do? And you just like,
Door's fucked.
yeah.
I want to perception to search for the helix.
You will need to get outside first.
Go outside.
Okay, so Sword breaks down the door, and the door is the doorway is half buried in rubble, and this, you can tell, is the stone that the anchor was made of. And there's just dust, and it gets into your mouth and nose and eyes, and it's very fine and everywhere. And basically, you have to squeeze through the door to get out. And there's still pieces falling, small pieces. So it's kind of dangerous outside. But yeah, give me would it be acrobatics to squeeze through a small space?
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Should we all make that roll?
22.
Yeah. Okay. You're able to get out. Anyone else going to do the same thing?
Nope.
Oh,
There's a 1 on the die plus 1.
So you are Pooh Bear.
Yep. I will just literally.
The rest of them just clog up the door.
Yeah, we all go at the same time. Hell, that's smart. And the four of us go.
I got a 20.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. You
You find space around me
Yeah.
somehow.
yeah. You just do the door frame swing through.
Yeah,
Oh,
I rolled a
sick.
4.
You're
Double
just-
Pooh Bear.
Imagine a large, between the massive sword and the shield and the Bolaznena.
Yeah. Bolaznena rolled a 1, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you're just oh, yeah. The sword was totally wedged in there, right? Like a cross, and his belt is pinning it from the top, and you don't know how you're going to get him out of that. But it's kind of an interesting problem right now.
Can I turn around and try to help them through?
Yeah, absolutely. Give me an athletics roll.
Oh boy.
Use magic.
I don't have. I can shoot you with a missile. That's basically the magic I have.
Let go of your feelings.
It's help me with magic.
And
Zap.
once again, it's dusty out here.
Yeah. That's a 20.
Is that a net?
No.
19
It's a
on the
19 plus
Okay,
1.
sure.
20.
Yeah, you grab Bolaznena,
Yeah.
and
I have a 13 strength. It's not
Yeah.
nothing.
I start pushing from the other end, I imagine.
yeah, you're able to just twist the thing and get him turned top. No, roll my left.
It's like moving a couch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
Your
No, lift
dexterity.
your side. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm trying to like remember where the big rock was and try to go towards the middle and like searching frantically for the new bit.
You, at the center of where the stone was, you are wandering through the settling clouds of dust when you stumble over a hand buried in the rubble. Like, actually almost literally trip over it. Give me a dex save, actually.
5, 6.
You catch it but don't tumble. You notice the yellow fabric of being worn by the arm.
Can I check for a pulse?
Yeah.
Continue searching.
Have I caught up to her?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, I'd like to be leaving at this point too, if I can now.
Okay,
Have to make another roll.
Yes.
All right. That's a cocked die, which is too bad because it was a good roll. 13.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to get out. Several of the other guards help you.
Excellent.
They're trying to get people moved out of the structure. They don't know how stable it is right
Sure.
now.
Ooh, that's a good call. I start helping evacuate the building.
Okay.
And like if I can move the rubble and stuff like that, I'm like, they've got it. I'll help these people.
And like the rubble seems to be like pretty small, right? Like it's not boulders, it's stones.
Okay.
And smaller than that still. Give me a perception roll, Hella.
Ooh.
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 19?
The dust clears for a moment, and you see a silk-clad figure with a gold-colored veil holding the helix.
Son of a...
I hide.
Roll.
Ooh.
10?
He turns and looks at you, and then runs off into the dust.
One of the wasps has it! I yell.
Are we caught up to that?
That's it.
Or is that where we're stopping?
We'll call it there for today.
Okay. No, why? Bring me back my people!